Good morning. Welcome to Morning Conversation. It is a Tuesday. Here I have Teddy. Teddy is a baby. That's right, he's a baby. Can't you tell? Yep, Teddy's a baby. This baby doesn't listen at home when he's off leash. He definitely doesn't listen. Takes off. Recently ran. Let's go. Over and got himself into a skunk. Um, so yeah, he's no longer on formula, moving into solid foods. As you can see, he's not in a diaper anymore, which is good. Um, yeah, this is a baby. I've had to buy some dog or some baby books and raising children books because I work with dogs. And so I've had to kind of brush up and learn a lot about raising a baby and a child. And one commonality in all of these, I think 5 books that I've bought on having a baby, raising a child. One commonality I've come across in these books so far is, teaching the child to sleep by themselves early. Um, having a routine, a certain time that they feed, a certain time that they take a nap. Being proactive with potty when you're potty training, asking them ahead of time if they need to go potty, taking them into the potty, so that because they won't always tell you that they need to go. And so generally being involved, and another commonality is lots of play with them, constructive play. So yeah, those are some of the commonalities. Also, starting when they're old enough to understand, generally 2 years old is the common theme. Start to teach them rules and boundaries. It's commonality in some of these child raising and baby books. Like, no, it's not okay to slap mommy. No, it's not okay to spit. So, you start to introduce rules and boundaries into as early as they can start to understand, so that when they're a teenager, you have more boundaries and they don't become entitled and end up running your life. So I've had to brush up on child rearing and raising and baby books. It's been an interesting journey with Teddy right here so far, learning how to teach a baby. So excuse me while I tie off this poop bag. No, I'm joking. It's not a baby. Obviously, if he was a baby, I wouldn't be picking up his poop with a bag. And if he was a baby, he'd be wearing a diaper. And if he was a baby, all of these other things would be in place. So he's not a baby. I'm just having a little jest. Another thing in baby books that the books that I have is talking about allowing a child to soothe themselves and work through frustrations. Let's go. It talks a lot about preparing your child for independence and for the world. So, yeah, and for school. Helping them to become social. That not everybody's their mommy, not everybody's their daddy. And so we don't just walk up to everybody, we're 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, and we don't just go talk to strangers, and we don't just walk up to strangers and hug them and kiss them like we do mommy and daddy. That's another commonality in the book. So something I'm teaching Teddy here is that we don't just go up to strangers and other strangers, and especially dogs. one of the books has a chapter on dogs, which I read first, and it talks about teaching your baby and your child boundaries around dogs, and not to just go up to a strange dog, even if they have a dog at home. And you know, you just don't go up to other people and animals if you don't know them, you know. So not everybody's mommy, not everybody's daddy, not everybody's scruffy at home. And so again, that is a form of boundaries. So as you can tell, this baby right now is just dragging around this 20-foot line. Let's go. Teddy, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Excuse me. It's humid out here. So that was a pretty good recall. Yeah, so anyways, point is, this is not a baby. It's a dog. It's a dog. I wouldn't have a job actually if in a lot of ways, if dogs that people call their babies were actually treated more like a human child. And what I mean by that is with a long-term goal in mind of, I need to raise this child, right? Not of, I have this baby and I want to keep it a baby forever, right? So how do we raise a child? What do we need to do to ensure that that child is emotionally healthy, ensure that that child is physically healthy? Teddy, come. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Nice recall. What do we need to do to make sure that child's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually healthy throughout life? Socially healthy, has good social skills. What do we have that vision and that goal and that understanding in mind when we actually have a baby? When we have a dog, we want to keep them a puppy forever. And you can have that, but we don't actually raise them and understand that we still need to make sure that they're physically, emotionally, mentally, and socially healthy. We have to teach that. They don't just know. So there's that. There's that. So we end up getting a dog who's confused, and the dog is confused, rightfully so, because he's a dog. That's his DNA. He will always be much closer to a wolf with his DNA and how he behaves and why he behaves than he ever will be to a human. So he's confused, and it's primarily because human is confused. Human is confused what a dog is, what a dog actually needs. But we have a better understanding of like what a baby needs, or what we as our infant self or our child self needs. We have a pretty good understanding of what our inner child needs. And so the dog becomes an emotional surrogate sometimes, and we go that route and we treat them like that. And so it's confusing. We're confused. Is it a baby? Is it a dog? Because sometimes we do treat it like a dog, and we have moments where we realize it's a dog, but emotionally we're not there with it. And so we are confused and the dog's confused. If we just embrace dogs for dogs, God, what a wonderful world it would be. What a wonderful life they would live. There's nothing wrong with a dog, just as they are. Just as they are. Let's go. Nothing wrong. There's a dog up there on the hill with a person. Nothing wrong. They're absolutely beautiful. They are perfect the way nature has designed a canine to be. They're perfect the way they are. Why we must even call or label them or look at them as a baby it just is not an appreciation of what they actually are. Teddy, come. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. Yes, sit. Sit. Good job, bud. Good boy. So he's on eCollar Technologies Mini Educator. eCollar system operates on the same technology as a TENS unit, muscle stimulation. It's not electrocution, okay? It's muscle stimulation. And this morning, he's at a 4, and you'll see, I'll tap it at a 4. Good boy, good boy. Anytime I stimulate that and I get its attention there, I wanna reward it. So it's a positive association. Let's go. And I'm not gonna allow the scratching. Let's go. Good job, bud. So he's been at a 10 or lower most of the time, which is great. And yeah, so he's at a 4 this morning. When we talk about e-collars and electricity, let's say it was an electrocution type shock, an electric shock. Let's just say that it was that. It's not, but just for instance, just for argument's sake, let's say that it was. Okay. Is electricity bad? No. Can it be used for negative? Yeah, we use electricity to kill people. Yes. It can also be used for good. Case in point. Teddy, come. Good boy. Let's go. Teddy, come. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, sit. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Electricity is also used in a lot of other areas for good. For example, I know it's used with, pacemakers. That's electric current to keep someone's heart beating. Parkinson's, they use electric probes and stimulation to minimize the tremors and actually give people a better quality of life and ability and mobility, and in a lot of cases communication back. So electricity is not in itself bad. The way that I teach the e-collar is stimulate to action, or stimulate to activate. What is the action that I'm stimulating? What do I teach the action to mean? Ultimately, the default action is to come back to me. But I can teach it, once the principles are there and the dog is understanding, I can teach any action associated with this stimulus. Your voice is a stimulus. This e-collar functions as a stimulus, okay? It's not as a punishment or a correction primarily. It's a stimulus for action. So I'm going to tap the e-collar and call his name. Teddy, come. And I'm tapping. Teddy, come. Good boy. So the stimulus, good boy. My voice and the stimulation of this at a 4. There we go. At a 4 has been taught to him an action. The action has come back to me. Okay? If you say sit to your dog and you give a hand signal, those are stimuluses. What happens if he's not paying attention? What happens if your voice isn't there? What happens if you're not standing right in front of him with a stupid milk bone? What happens then? Is he gonna listen? No, you need to be able to touch him somehow. Physical, that's how dogs communicate first and foremost, primarily, is through physical touch. If you ever watch two dogs play and interact, they are physically touching each other. They're not always barking at each other. They're not doing hand signals and body language, they're touching each other. They're tactile. They connect with the world through touch, through feel. So electricity is not all bad, but this is not, I'm not sending an electric current through him. This is a muscle stimulation. If you've ever had a TENS unit, TENS, then you have a better understanding. Now, can this be taught and used as an aversive, as a punisher, as a corrector? Of course. So can your voice. When your dog does something that you don't like, what do? You change your tonality of voice, and then what do? Oh, he listens when I yell. He listens when he knows he did bad. Yeah, he's listening because he's afraid, by the way. When you change your tonality because you perceive that he did something bad, when he didn't do something bad, he just did something you don't like, or he did something that scared you, he is operating out of fear. Your energy shifted and your tonality shifted, and maybe you grabbed him, and now we see that he's listening, and yeah, he is. He's listening out of fear. Does that dog look afraid right now? Teddy, come. Good boy, yes. Good boy. Yep, I tapped the collar right there. Sit. Good job, bud. Good boy. Good boy. And I tapped the collar once when I said sit, because I'm in this teaching conditioning phase with him, so that a command coupled with sensation, stimulus, represents action. And I'll tap it when I say let's go. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Does he look scared? Nope. Is a TENS unit painful? If you've ever had a TENS unit, use the TENS unit. Is it painful? It can be uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable. No disputing that. It can be startling. It can be, but is it painful? No, it's not painful. It's not painful. It's a medical device. It's not painful. Let's go. Good boy. I tapped the button, said let's go. Just like this is not painful to the dog. This is actually lower level than if I was to communicate with a leash or a prong collar or whatever else that your treat only, love and affection, positive reinforcement only trainers, force-free trainers want to propagate and use, and whatever feels good and is good marketing. The fact is, it is impossible to not use any type of force when working with a dog. There's not, because, and I can show that. Unless you don't have a leash on them or a collar or anything. So if you have a leash on a dog, it is going to be a force. Him dragging this leash right now, there's a force acting on him. There's the resistance of the leash and the friction of the grass, gravity. There's forces acting on the dog all the time. So when trainers talk about I'm force-free, liar, you just want to sound sweet and good to all the fur mommies out there. And the results aren't going to be there. What happens when your treat pouch doesn't work because your dog sees a squirrel 30 yards away and now they're not listening, or they see a dog and they want to run up to the dog, and the couple walking through the park and your dog's like, ooh, dog and people, I love those, and he takes off. Now the answer that most people are going to give is, well, I would have my dog on a leash. Okay, cool, that's a wonderful life. So you're going to keep your dog captive their entire life and not fulfill their need to smell and explore. So right now, I haven't given Teddy any command to heel. And look where he's walking. And we are at the park and he's dragging a leash. I have not tapped the e-collar button since the last time I said let's go. And we're just cruising. Yep, and there's people this time of the morning, there's people starting to show up, walking around. Got someone over there playing with their shepherd. Look at that. So I'm going to turn the opposite way, 180 degrees. Tell him let's go. Give him one tap on the collar. Here we go. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. He is free to explore. He's free to explore all these trees. And so if you say your solution to fulfilling your dog is, well, I would never do that. I would have him on a leash. Yep, I get it. And there's leash laws. I get it. But what a life. Inside a house your entire life, on a 6-foot leash your entire life. What a life that is. Man. And what happens if that leash slips out of your hand? What happens if you have a big dog and he gets the jump on you and the leash slips out of your hand? What then? What then? Because those things happen. What then? Is your treat pouch going to work, or is it going to fail you? How are you going to be able to communicate at a distance when the dog is in full drive and literally cannot hear you? Let's go. Good boy. Good job, bud. So we're going to play a little game here. See if you can tell when I tap the collar and when I don't tap the collar. Let's go. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Let's go. Good boy. Let's go. Look at that. How's that for a nice heel? Let's go. How is that? At the park, grass, distractions, just walking right with Uncle Tim. Let's go. Could you tell which times I've tapped the collar? If you can, let's go. That was the first time I tapped it. By the way, there's dogs and people over there. I said, let's go, and his head turned back the other way. So I set a boundary and reminded him, out of 4, nope, we're not doing that, let's go. Stimulated him to action. That action is, come with me. I gave him the verbal stimulus, wasn't sufficient for him in that situation. So now I follow through. Oh, that's one of the things in all these baby books is follow through. Make sure your baby, your child knows that when you say something that you're going to follow through with what you say. Helps to build a strong relationship and fosters trust. Let's go. That was one of the things. Follow through with your baby and with your child right from the beginning. If you tell them to clean their room, follow through with it. If you tell them to brush their teeth before bed, follow through with it. That was a big one. Is follow through with your baby. Builds trust in the parent when you follow through, because there's consistency there. And there's comfort there in that discipline of following through. Let's go. Good job. So we'll get I got a little Kong here. We'll see if you want to play. Go get it. Good boy. Good boy. Get it. Get it. Get it. Let's go. Come on. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go. Yes. Good boy. So see how I'm not going to chase him? He's looking back expecting me to chase him. And Uncle Tim doesn't chase dogs. Sit. Good boy. So now I reach down, grab the toy, and release him from the sit. Go get it. So I can teach him the rules of the game. Remember how those books talked about play as being important? Let's go. Come on, come on. Good boy, yes. So I just move away. Yes, sit. Sit. Good. And I'm not using the collar right now. But those books talk about play, and it primarily talk about play because it's such an opportunity to bond and also teach. Teddy, let's go. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go on. Sit. Go get it. Go on. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Good boy. Let's go. Now I move away from him. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Yeah. Sit. Sit. Yes. Good boy. So I grab it. Sit. As soon as he sits, I go get it. Now he doesn't show interest. I show interest and watch what happens. Let's go. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Get it. Okay. Now I run away. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Go get it. Go get it. Let's go. Come on. Come on. And I'm going to kick it now. So he goes and finishes it. Yeah, so I'm just building his drive. I'm getting his drive up. Let's go. Come on. And I'm running away. Good boy. Come on. Sit. I'm channeling his drive. Another way to say it. I'm driving his drive. Sit. I'm driving his drive. He doesn't readily want to chase it. I show interest in it. Then I kick it a little further. Go get it. Go get it. Go on. All right, let's go. Now watch. And then I'm going to run away. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Go get it. Go get it. Go on. Go get it. Go get it. And I run away. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Good job, bud. Good job. And with play, I don't want to end when he's exhausted. I want to end with him still having some drive in him. And so this is a good ending point. Truthfully, it might have even gone over a couple reps. But this is a good ending point for this play session. So I'll put that back in my pocket. And we'll make our way to the car. Let's go. Good boy. And watch the dang near perfect off-leash walk that I get going back to the car. This is made possible because of structure. This is made possible because of setting boundaries. This is made possible because of seeking difficult things for him. This is made possible by challenging him. This is made possible by strategic discomfort. Those are all normal things in raising a baby. Strategic stress that the baby has to overcome in order to become resilient and learn and grow. Look, I'm just walking up to the car. There ain't no thing. There ain't no thing. Look at that. And we will sit. Sit. Yep. Okay. Get in this back. Get in the back, boy. Good. Good boy. Good boy. All the way. Get up on the seat. Yep. Good boy. There we go. All right. I'll gather up this leash and we will take off. That was a great park sesh for this baby.